Hello, welcome to Share Your Foodways. My name is Maria Kennedy. I'm the co-director of the New Jersey Folk Festival, and we're really happy to be co-presenting this episode of Share Your Foodways with the Middlesex Art Institute. Here with me today, I have Michelle Washigton Wilson, our guest chef, and I also have our student producer from New Jersey Folk Festival, S.J. Waldman. S.J., can you tell us a little bit about the Folk Festival and our guest chef today?
Absolutely. New Jersey Folk Festival is a project with the American Studies Department at Rutgers, and it's where students, faculty, and community board members come together and they present New Jersey folk arts, cultural traditions, and community groups. Michelle here was a presenter at our 2022 festival, and that happens last Saturday in April, and it's free and open to the public on the Cook Douglas campus of New Brunswick's campus for Rutgers. And Michelle was there to demonstrate and tell stories about the foodways of the Great Migration.
Thanks. We're so happy to have you here, Chef Michelle. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a chef?
Well, again, my name is Michelle Washigton Wilson, and I am a folklorist, a storyteller, and a gourmet chef. I kind of became a chef because I was always interested in food. Both my grandmothers cooked. They both were domestic cooks. And I started cooking at the age of 10 because I came from a family of 5 and I had a lot of responsibilities. My mother worked outside of the home and she depended on me to help out in the kitchen. So fast forward about 36 years, and I had the privilege of attending the Academy of Culinary Arts at Atlantic Cape Community College. It's a 2-year program, and I learned all aspects of cooking. My specialty is actually tableside cuisines, which is preparing food like this right in front of your eyes, like we're going to do today. I've got some helpers here today. I got my number one helper. This is my daughter, Aunt Alicia. We call her Angel. She's my angel pudding. And like me, she started cooking and serving at an early age. I'm also here with my best friend, Paula Stewart Davis. And, you know, macaroni and cheese is a real feel-good food. Paula, what do you remember about mac and cheese from your childhood?
Mommy always made mac and cheese for special occasions, especially on Sunday dinner when we would have the big meal.
Yes.
So we couldn't wait for that. But we never had seafood in ours.
Well, this is, you know, I am a gourmet chef, but so is your mom. And I learned a lot about cooking from Mom May Stewart. As a matter of fact, Mom May is one of the reasons why I wanted to become a chef.
Yeah.
I know you remember when your parents ran the country club, the Sandale Country Club. It was back during the days of segregation, and a lot of people that came out of New York, a lot of African Americans came out to the country in Newtonville, New Jersey, our hometown. And they went to the country club, and the country club had horses. What else did you guys have there?
Swimming pool.
The swimming pool, yeah.
Tennis court.
Golf.
Golf.
Did we say horses?
Yes.
The horses. And the dance patio with the jukebox where you could get 3 songs for a quarter.
Yes.
So I remember the day that I wanted to buy some potato chips and soda. I was at the pool because on Wednesdays, the local kids could come to the pool for 50 cents.
Yes.
So I would pick blackberries for Mrs. Shields and sell them to her for 50 cents. And then I had my money to go to the pool. So one day I said, I had an extra 20 cents and I wanted a soda and a bag of chips. And I went to the back door, and your mom, I don't know how she did it. She ran a country club, she cooked, she cleaned, she prepped all the guest rooms, and she also watched all the children in the neighborhood at the same time.
The original superwoman.
Yes, that's her. And so while I was there and I ordered my soda and my chips, a little girl came downstairs and she said, "Oh, I'm hungry. I want my breakfast." So your mom told the little child, "You have to go back upstairs and your mom has to order your breakfast." I had never heard those words put together like that before. Order breakfast? Order breakfast. I had never heard of ordering breakfast. And so I couldn't even get in the pool. I just had to think about it. By the way, can you hand me that seafood off the stove so we can stir that in?
Oh, certainly.
Thank you. Hold that for me. Why don't you tilt it a little bit? We're gonna stir. We're not gonna dump. Okay. All right. There you go. Great. Put that juice in there too. Okay. And so, when I heard about this ordering breakfast thing, I mean, I had never heard of it before. So I decided then and there that I wanted somebody to be able to order breakfast for me. And that's when I decided that when I grew up, somehow people were going to order breakfast for me. And today, I'm a chef, and they can. So thanks for stopping by.
Yes.
And tell Mom May I said hello.
All right. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
So Chef Michelle, you just made us a beautiful but very rich mac and cheese. And now you are going to make for us something really fresh.
Yes.
Jersey fresh.
Yes. Yes.
And the fruit cocktail is a dish that actually has a special meaning for you. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. Well, you know, when I was growing up, fruit cocktail was like that special dessert. And we really only had fruit cocktail at my godmother's house. My godparents, the Petersons, my Aunt Nina, my Uncle Pete, they had an ice cream stand and they made homemade ice cream, and they had the best Sunday dinners, and they also sold Sunday dinner at their stand. And on Sunday evenings after the stand was closed, we would sit and have dinner, and we'd have fruit cocktail for dessert. Now, there was only one maraschino cherry in the fruit cocktail, and it always went to my god sister, Jeannie. But the NAACP in Newtonville had a breakfast, and it was a fundraiser. They had it at our church, Bethlehem Baptist Church. And so my mother always wanted me to, you know, be exposed to things. So she bought me a ticket to the breakfast. And as part of the breakfast, there was a fruit cup, and it was a fruit cocktail. And inside of the fruit cocktail was this beautiful, just luscious looking red orb. And I asked Mrs. Evans, who was in charge of the breakfast, I said, "What is that?" And she said, "That is a maraschino cherry." Well, I had never had my very own maraschino cherry before, but I did that day.
So Chef Michelle, one of the other ingredients in the fruit cocktail that you're going to make today are the blueberries.
Yes.
And blueberries had a special part in your family story, is that right?
That is so correct. Actually, my grandmother, my mother's mother, her name, people called her Ella, but her name was Montiel Vesta. And actually, I named my catering company after her, and I have the sign. Montiel Vesta, that's right, because I wanted to remember my grandmother's real given name. And so she brought her family to South Jersey because they worked as a family on the blueberry farms. Everybody worked together, they picked together, they put their money together, and they made enough money in the summertime to make it through the wintertime. After about 2 seasons of coming to South Jersey in the summer and then going back to Philadelphia, the family actually relocated. They relocated to Atlantic County, New Jersey, where we continued to pick blueberries in the summertime. And as a young child, that was my first job. At 10 years of age, I still remember the first day I went to the blueberry field and I actually made $3. And I continued to work, and that summer I made enough money to buy a ticket on a bus ride to the World's Fair in New York City, and also buy myself a very beautiful dress. My mom picked it out for me. So yeah, blueberries hold a special meaning in our life and in our story, as does blackberries, because when I mentioned about the Sanddale Country Club and the swimming pool being open to the local kids, the neighborhood kids, on Wednesdays, I used to pick blackberries to raise enough money to get into the pool, which was 50 cents. A lot of money back then.
Chef Michelle, I did have a few more questions for you. So if you don't mind my asking, you had a few stories of your family related to food and food businesses. Could you share a few more of those stories with us?
Well, our family start out very simplistically. When my grandmother, my father's mother, Velma Brown, came up from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, they also came to Philadelphia. And at that time, people didn't have any way to connect with their roots and the food of their culture. I mean, there was no place where you could get, good pig feet or good collard greens or some really good fried chicken. So what my grandmother and her family did, my dad and my Aunt Ivory and my grandmother's husband, who everybody called the old man, what they did was they had a little restaurant, a little cafe on the first floor of their home in North Philly, and it was called the Cozy Nook. And people loved to come by the Cozy Nook and get good smothered pork chops and get some good barbecue. And the old man was known for making the best rolls. He actually worked for the Reading Railroad line as a cook. And my grandmother worked as a domestic cook. When she came to South Jersey, she worked for many of the families in Vineland, New Jersey. And so she had to learn to cook the foods that the European families liked. So, and of course, what they cooked, we ate too. So we had things like fish and chips or mackerel or gefilte fish or, bagels with fresh salmon, and, other people's foodways became our foodways as well. And so now we're just like this fruit salad. We've blended together and we're all one big New Jersey family, sharing our foodways.
So having food businesses has really been a part of your family for generations now.
Yes.
Do you think it'll continue?
I think so. My daughter, who you met earlier, Angel, spent 5 years in New Orleans. She worked as a server, and service is important. People may return for mediocre food, but they will not come back for bad service. And service is very important to us. Both my children started serving in our family catering business when they were very young, the ages of 9 and 11. Also, I think about people that I've shared good food with. My church members at Faith Baptist Church in Pleasantville, they have some really good, amazing cooks there. And also, I think about my good friend Ann Edmonds. We shared a lot of good meals together. And I remember her. She helped us, in the purchasing of our home. So I just like to say her name. She passed away recently, but I always remember the good times that we had sharing food and just having good times. So food is the perfect gateway to a good time with food, folks, and fun.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your food with us today. Chef Michelle, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for being part of the New Jersey Folk Festival and Share Your Foodways with Middlesex Arts Institute.
And thank you, Dr. Kennedy, for coming down today.
Thank you so much.